It is a beautiful night for soccer, a night many thought may never arrive. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jamesville-DeWitt Central High School here in DeWitt, New York. My name is Sam Gelfand, and I am so incredibly beyond excited to be bringing you this contest between the Auburn Maroons and the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams. This is the first game in the Section 3 Class A girls soccer season. The Auburn Maroons have a lot to prove. The Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams ranked number 1 in Syracuse.com's preseason poll, but it's not going to be easy for them to maintain their position at the top, as they have lost several key players from last year's run that sent them to the Final Four in the state. This promises to be a great matchup. Thank you so very much for joining us here live on YouTube. It's a bit of a different season, and that goes without saying, but we're going to make it a fun one. The green screen isn't getting knocked over, which is great, and we cannot wait to see what we have in store. But before we get into the starting lineups, we do have a quick message for you from all of us here at Jamesville-DeWitt Athletics. The best precaution you can take against COVID-19 is to stay home whenever possible. We encourage you to keep yourself and our student athletes safe by watching this broadcast remotely. Let us bring the game to you instead. And with this in mind, let's go straight into the starting lineup, starting with the visiting team, the Auburn Maroons. Starting for the Maroons will be number 2, Chloe Pisciano. Number 5, Emma Hastings. Number 7, Riley Hastings. Number 9, Caitlin Lowe. Number 10, Grace Oliver. Number 11, Brooke Reynolds. Number 15, Jessica High. Number 20, Elena Foose. Number 24, Ariana Bartolotta. And number 28, Amelia Bartolotta. In the goal today for the Auburn Maroons will be Bryn Whitman. In 2019, she was an All-Salt City Athletic Conference second-team selection. Stopped 107 shots from going in, so this is a brick wall that the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams may have to tear down, and let's see who their wrecking crew will be in tonight's contest. Number 2, Megan Baker. Number 10, Nina Dermody. Number 12, Avery Young. Number 13, Lindsay Hildreth. Number 14, Sydney Balaton. Number 15, Alice O'Connor. Number 16, Emma Sutherland. Number 17, Nora Prosak. Number 18, Rory Leach. And number 24, Kaylee McKenna. And in the goal today for the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams, or tonight I probably should say, considering it's about 7 p.m. or so, will be Amelia Zumbol. The 5'6" senior wearing number 33 had 3 saves in the 2019 season. Jamesville-DeWitt did lose their goalie to, well, graduation. So this is going to be an interesting test for her to see if she'll be able to hang. There's only one way to find out. We'll be coming back here in about 4 minutes or so. There's a minute 30 on the clock. We got to do starting lineups here in the stadium. And after that, we hope to have you back here. Thank you so very much for joining us. The impossible season is about to begin. is Sam Gelfand, and I would like to be the first to welcome you to this match between the visiting Auburn Maroons and your Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams. We kindly request that all spectators observe socially distanced seating and keep their masks on, covering both their mouth and their nose at all times. These measures may be inconvenient or uncomfortable, but they must be observed to preserve our season. With this in mind, tonight's match will be broadcast live on YouTube, free of charge for those unable to attend. We will continue to live stream JD Soccer throughout the season, and we encourage you to watch our contest remotely if possible. The smaller the in-person attendance, the greater chance we have of keeping our students athletes safe. Finally, Section 3 Athletics would like to wish both teams the best of luck in tonight's contest and remind you that the key to good sportsmanship is not to root for any one team to lose, but to root for any one team to win. Let's get straight into the starting lineups, starting with the visiting team, the Auburn Maroons, coached by George Cosentino. Number 2, Chloe Pisiano. Number 5, Emma Hastings. Number 7, Riley Hastings. Number 9, Caitlin Lowe. Number 10, Grace Oliver. Number 11, Brooke Reynolds. Number 15, Jessica Hyde. Number 20, Elena Foose. Number 24, Ariana Bartolotta. Number 28, Amelia Bartolotta. And in the goal tonight for the Auburn Maroons, number 0, Bryn Whitman. Ladies and gentlemen, the visiting Auburn Maroons. And now for your Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams, coached by Harry Eyes, assisted by Rebecca Peter. Number 2, Megan Baker. Number 10, Nina Dermody. Number 12, Avery Young. Number 13, Lindsay Hildreth. Number 14, Sydney Balaton. Number 15, Alice O'Connor. Number 16, Emma Sutherland. Number 17, Nora Prusak. Number 18, Rory Leach. Number 24, Kelly McKenna. And in the goal tonight for your Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams, number 32, Amelia Zumbel. Ladies and gentlemen, your Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise and face the flag located next to the scoreboard for the playing of tonight's national anthem. will be underway momentarily. No worries. Let's get the camera rolling.
I want to thank all the spectators in attendance. I do encourage everybody to remain 6 feet apart for social distancing. Please keep your mask on throughout the contest. There will be a stoppage of play at 20 minutes. That's for our athletes to take a mask break. The officials will be officiating wide. They've changed some of their mechanics to socially distance from the players. There are spectators, there are supervisors walking around the bleachers with clipboards. They're just simply looking for your name and phone number for contact tracing purposes if we need it. Again, these are all just precautionary steps we're taking to keep our student athletes safe.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this contest between the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams and the Auburn Maroons. We are about to get underway here in DeWitt. Thank you so very much for joining us for the first match of the 2020 season that many thought would not happen. Looks like we are about to get underway here. The Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams wearing red, the Auburn Maroons wearing white. A recent rule change as of a couple of years ago. Home teams wear colors, away teams wear white, often in contrast to many other schools. Or other sports, I should say. And with a whistle, the surreal season is now underway. Auburn will get possession to start it. Immediately, though, beaten back by a quick attack from the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams. Taking it down the sidelines, the steal goes to number 13, Lindsay Hildreth, although a whistle is blown. Referee might not have liked how close she got in contact. So Auburn will maintain possession. That's number 28, Amelia Bartolotta, immediately intercepted, and it's Megan Baker now, who is traveling with the pass off. Baker is going to be one to watch throughout this entire game and this entire season. Led the Red Rams with 24 goals last year. In fact, she didn't just lead the Red Rams, as there's a quick tumble by, it looks like, number 10, Nina Dermody. Didn't just lead the Red Rams, she was second in Section 3 Class A, or in Class A entirely. The entire New York State, she was number 2 in goals scored. And the Red Rams are playing aggressively right now, although Auburn is doing their best to play keep away. The Red Rams are known for their all-out offensive attack. It was not uncommon last year for them to win games with scores of 7-0, 8-0. Auburn is well aware of this. They're going to do their best to prevent that from transpiring. Here is number 14, Sydney Balaton now, is in possession. Balaton passes it off to Kaylee McKenna, who gives it to Hildreth. Back to Baker. Baker's double teamed. So down to the other wing. Quickly poked out to 14 Balaton. Now in the corner, it's number 10 Dermody. And her attempt at a setup is taken away by the Maroons, although here's number 15 Alice O'Connor. Finds her way around a couple of defenders, working her way to the corner. Quick chip is taken away by 25 Paige Maneri. Sorry, that is 28 Amelia Bartolotta. We're quite high up here in the press box as Brooke Reynolds gets past midfield and Megan Baker with a steal. Now all the way up down the sidelines. Approaching the box, it is number 2 Megan Baker, who her shot goes off the torso of number 20 Elena Foose. Quick cross up, it's number 15 Jessica High, who had other plans. Auburn is in possession now. Ball crosses midfield. To cheers of the Auburn faithful. And the first goal of the 2020 season goes to the Auburn Maroons. Let's take one more look. It doesn't look like the instant replay caught it. Well, that's not good. We'll fix that. Yep, it seems that I had it was what should have been the instant replay for the goal, instead was trying to put in the away score. It's the first game of the season, folks. Technical difficulties are not only anticipated, they are expected. So the Red Rams fall behind quickly, 1-0, as there's still just under 36 minutes to play in the first half of this game. Quick throw in by the Maroons. It's Bartolotta now, who pokes it past to number 10 Grace Oliver. Taken away by the Red Rams, but Oliver picks it right back up. And speaking of turnovers, here's Nina Dermody. Dribbling, pokes it past, tries to get it to Baker, who will not follow. Said it's her teammate, number 13 Hildreth, who tries to get to it. McKenna will block that pass. McKenna instantly recognizable due to the dual ponytail hairstyle that she's had all, not only this year, but in the past basketball season as well. McKenna being the starting shooting guard for the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams varsity basketball squad. Ball goes off the back of number 10 Dermody, but she's able to recover the ball. Oh, tough contact there. So now the instant replay, what was that? Oh, okay, so the instant replay is kind of working. Well, we can see here, there's that contact. Yep, a big shove onto Megan Baker. Here's the free kick dialed up and wide left of the goal. So the Red Rams had a chance there, but it will remain 1-0. Here in the first half of this game, there are 33.5 minutes on the clock. It will be a goalie kick now, as there is a substitution for the Red Rams. Now number 18, Rory Leach, the forward, cannot penetrate the Auburn line. So instead, Sydney Balaton will take her chances. Good defense in the corner. It goes out of bounds, and it looks like they will reward it to Auburn. It will be a goalie kick. Interesting. I thought JD got their last, got the second to last touch on the ball, but eyes can deceive you. Video replay does not. Down the wing, it barely touches the line. That was a close one. Let's take another look at it. Or is this just, okay, so the replay is just going to show us the shove again. Oh, now it's figuring it out. Okay, it seems that the instant replay buffer is a few seconds behind. Yes, that ball did indeed go over the line. Just as this is a first time for you watching at home, this is the first time that we're putting all this together here in the JD press box. So we thank you for standing by as we figure things out as well. Sam Gelfand here for Jamesville-DeWitt Athletics. Bartolotta attempted to push it back towards the goal, but Jamesville-DeWitt, known for their defense. It was the key to their success last year despite their incredibly aggressive offense. And of all the senior turnover they had coming into this season, their defensive line has remained the most intact. Looks like the ball will be placed around the 15-yard line. There's a goalie kick by number 44, Lauren Parker, into the goal, although Amelia Zumbel was listed as the opening goalie. This is the first game of the season. Substitutions are likely to be found as teams figure out what works best for them. And it's Hildreth fighting for it. Down the sideline, Elena Foose. Now try to take it the other way. Good defense by Sydney Balaton. It goes over the line, but it's a consolation prize just to have stopped that drive. It's 21 carry done, though. Pass is intercepted by Pisciano. Now it's Ariana Bartolotta who takes it across midfield. Bartolotta again. This one goes off the shin of Baker. Baker smells an opportunity, but it seems Carrie Dunn does not as it slips through her feet. Sent back across midfield and out of play. Throw in by McKenna. But the Red Rams cannot rein the ball in. We are under 30 minutes here in DeWitt, New York. As Hildreth gets it across midfield. That's Carrie Dunn, taken away by Foose. Off the head of McKenna. McKenna, very conveniently for me, wears the same number in soccer as she does in basketball. Probably conveniently for her, considering how superstitious so many athletes are when it comes to the numbers on their jerseys. Rolls all the way to Parker, who gets a clearance but did not clear it far enough. Now number 5, Emma Hastings. The pass almost taken away. Hastings gets it back. And it rolls right into the waiting hands of Lauren Parker. There's a little bit of physicality displayed by the Auburn Maroons. I know they're going to have to scratch and claw if they want to emerge victorious against the number 1 ranked team in Section 3 Class A, according to Syracuse.com, as that shot on goal went very wide right. going to be a goal kick now. Parker makes it to about the 22-yard line. And it rolls away out of play. McKenna with another throw-in. But Auburn gets it back quickly. And there's another turnover. Both of these teams playing hot potato with the ball. No one stays in possession for too long. Parker continually making stops. Lauren Parker had 2 saves in the entirety of the 2019 season. Like Amelia Zumbol, the other goalie for Jamesville-DeWitt, they were backups last year. The starting goalie graduated. Diving stop by Lauren Parker, and the defense goes over Parker's head, and it is now 2-0. No, that's it. It tried to switch over there. Let's take another look at that goal, though. That is number 5, Emma Hastings. Successfully poked it in. And I don't know where my pencil went. It's over here. So Emma Hastings makes this a 2-0 ball game. The Red Rams not used to being down, much less down by 2. In the entirety of the 2019 season, they played 21 games, resulting in 14 shutouts. When you don't surrender a goal for 2/3 of the season, and now you're down 2-0 in the first half of the first game of the next season, you got to be wondering what's going on. Although I think that the Red Rams, like all teams around here in Section 3, are dealing with the same issues. After all, this is a bizarre season, to say the least, a bizarre time in world history. They did not have a lot of time to prepare. They got the green light that the season would be okay on September 21st. And it's only been since then that they've been allowed to practice. Teams aren't going to be able to build that kind of cohesion yet. Avery Young, the defender there, who kept it away from the left third of the pitch. Now it is number 5, Emma Hastings, once again on the attack. This time defended by the Red Rams. Peyton Maneri cannot get a foot on it. And Balaton will keep it in bounds. Poked out by number 10, Nita Dermody. Elena Foose tracks it down. Guarded by 21, Carrie Dunn. Effective pressure employed by the Red Rams. It's under 25 minutes on the clock. Keep in mind, due to new regulations related to the pandemic, at the first stoppage of play after the 20-minute mark, there will be a 2-minute mask break, where the athletes, you see, will socially distance and be allowed to remove their masks for 2 minutes to regain some of their stamina. After all, you run several miles a game playing soccer, and doing that in a mask the entire time cannot be easy, although it is necessary. Auburn not on the defense for long. Good clearance, although it will become a JD ball. Subsequent throw-in by Nita Dermody. Double teamed is Pisiano, though it goes out of play. It's a whole new world and a whole new ball game out there for all athletes involved, including the referees, who are meant to stay 10 feet away from players at all times if possible. Quick clearance by Auburn, but it looks like the Red Rams are going to track it down in time. Kaylee McKenna specifically. Though it goes out of play. Remains a Red Ram ball. Now Hildreth will have the honor of taking it downfield. She gets past number 14, Sydney Marinelli. The Red Rams have been hanging on to the wings this entire game. They've not wanted to attack down the midfield as the ball goes off the shin of that looks like Lily Linder. Avery Young has been playing effective defense all night so far. Off her chest, but not the hands. Now Linder gets it across midfield. Rory Leach passes right into the waiting arms of Chloe Pisciano, only metaphorically though. If it was waiting arms, then that would be a penalty. Linder with a pass, tracked down by Pisciano. And unable to be tracked down by number 23, Peyton Maneri. We can take a quick look at that. If that isn't just going to show the last goal, that is the last goal. Here's what it was trying to show. Maneri was unable to track down that ball. If you're just joining us, it seems that the instant replay buffer is a little bit slow. May show you the previous instant replay once or twice. And if you are just joining us, my name's Sam Gelf, and thank you very much for joining us for this grand experiment of ours, the pilot broadcast of JD Athletics for the 2020 season. The Auburn Maroons have quickly gone up 2-0. Including on a goal by Emma Hastings. Not to be confused with her sister Riley Hastings, who wears a very similar number. Lauren Parker tracks it down and lets it soar. Now Elena Foose tries to poke it through, but Parker with a stop. It was a slow roller. Probably wasn't going to avoid the Jamesville-DeWitt goalkeeper. Tracked down by Dermody. And it's an Auburn ball, the referee says. Let's take another look at that ourselves if we can. Well, that's the previous one. Here we go. The referee said that's an Auburn ball. It looked like... Well, that was very close. It could have gone either way. It looks like there may have been a little bit of incidental contact on the Red Rams. So it seems, ladies and gentlemen, that we have reached the first mask break of the 2020 season, socially distanced. There will be no coaching opportunities here. So while we have this opportunity, why don't we take a look at how these two teams did in 2019? The Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams had a 2019 record of 17-3-1. The Maroons 9-7-1. Jamesville-DeWitt more than doubled the number of goals scored that Auburn had and allowed half as many goals. Slightly more assists, though, although it seems that more of the Maroons' goals came off of assists than the Red Rams' goals did. The biggest discrepancy here, though, in this comparison is the number of saves. Now, the Auburn Maroons have 107 saves in 2019. Jamesville-DeWitt just 42. But most of that comes from the impeccable defense of the Red Rams last season. These teams met twice in 2019. JD won 2-0 and 4-0. And both of those contests, that will not be the result tonight, as they've already given up 2 goals. It is 2-0 with 20 minutes remaining in the first half. The first game of the season will not be a shutout. And it seems there's some confusion, as we all know about the mask break. It doesn't seem we all know about how to return to the game after a mask break. So it's a corner kick, it seems they've decided on. Quick thinking by the officials. The Red Rams will take possession, quick bump. And it's Baker, the most dangerous striker in Section 3, who passes it down to Maeve Murphy. First of her we've seen tonight. But taken away by Reese Murphy. McKenna playing good defense, Baker. Now it's Hildreth poking through, and the worm burners picked up by Bryn Whitman. Hasn't had to make many stops so far tonight, if any. She made 107 saves in the 2019 season. The only goalie that the Auburn Maroons employed last season, and the only one they have listed on their roster this season. Which either indicates they weren't able to find anyone else, or they have supreme confidence in Bryn Whitman, considering she was an all-conference second-team selection. I would think it would be the second one. It's Lindsay Hildreth who pokes the ball away. Auburn's back to Hildreth now. The Red Rams have so far been unable to convert very far past midfield. They haven't been able to get all the way towards the goal. They've mostly been playing defense this game, which for the Red Rams usually not a bad thing considering the quality of their defense, although they are down 2-0. They are certainly hoping they can be on offense from here on out. Lauren Parker with the goalie kick to Kaylee McKenna. Now the Red Rams traveling down the wing. It's Baker, it's a foot race. Ball stays in bounds, taken away from Baker. It goes out, but if it's a JD ball, this may be advantageous for them. Throw into McKenna. Ball is poked out of bounds by Auburn. Looks like it's number 5, Emma Hastings. Sorry, that was number 9, Caitlin Lowe. We are on the opposite side of the field, and it is very hard to see the numbers from here. So Pisciano will poke it out. It gets across midfield, and here's Alice O'Connor with the intercept. Out of play. Looks like that's Brooke Holbert. Did everything she could against the senior Chloe Pisciano. Throw-in connects, and it's Brooke Holbert, who may set up an offensive opportunity. Spoke too soon. Caitlin Lowe would rather it go out of bounds than give the Red Rams a chance to score. It will be number 10, Nina Dermody, with the throw-in, as it immediately goes right back out of bounds, and it's an Auburn ball. Well, there went that opportunity, and there goes that ball off the foot of number 13, Lindsay Hildreth. Thrown in by Dermody. Baker in the corner, double team, trying to get the ball out of there. But it's not going to happen before it is thrown in by Auburn. Okay, how many times has this ball gone out of play in the past 30 seconds? I've lost track. Hey, here's an offensive opportunity. McKenna will try to keep it on this side of the field now. It will cross midfield. Here comes number 15, Jessica High, racing for it. Races all the way to the Auburn bench. Throw in for JD. Does not reach the field of play. Auburn will get an opportunity. 14 minutes remaining on the clock. One thing's for sure, this has been a fast-paced game. Now it is Sydney Balaton, whose pass is intercepted by Bartolotta. The Maroons have been extremely aggressive in their attack so far in this game. The Red Rams will attempt to find an opportunity. They are yet to find one, or at least capitalize on one so far, as it is pushed out of bounds. And Megan Baker was calling for the throw-in, but McKenna's the one who throws it in. Holbert pokes it out. And it's taken away by Pisiano. Now it's number 10, Grace Oliver. Oliver has an opportunity. Good defense by Alice O'Connor. Crisis averted by the Red Rams, although Elena Foose at midfield tries to get past Baker. She's able to poke a pass out, but it goes right to the Red Rams. And here we are, they're off to the races. Not anymore, that was a pass right to the referee. The Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams so far have some pretty big cleats to fill. Just in the last year, they lost Sydney Baker, Ava Brazy, Grace Bridge, Katie Capoletti, who is the goalie, Grace Dimkopoulos, Tanya Kuzmanidis, and Denise Yeager. 3 of them, all state selections, as there's a stop by Bryn Whitman. And they put up some incredible numbers for JD last year. We'll get to that in a little later, because here's a stop by Parker. Now it's Kaylee McKenna. Tries to get it to Hildreth. Double teamed. It is poked away. McKenna is still there, but so is Sydney Marinelli. Goes off her foot. Emma Hastings attempted to secure her second goal of the day, but that was not on the cards, at least not yet, as Parker dumps it way out. And the Red Rams are on the attack. Here's an opportunity. Megan Baker is driving towards the net. And there it is. The first Red Rams goal of 2020 belongs to who else but Megan Baker. Let's take one more look at that. Megan Baker is so fast and so adept at scoring. She is a supreme talent. It is 2-1 here in DeWitt now, as there's 10.5 minutes left in the first period. The first half, if you will. You know, sometimes I forget which sport I'm calling, and it's just easier to say period, because if there's halves, it's one. If it's quarters, you know, it all works. It's a good fallback solution. Ooh, there's rough contact. We take one more look at that. Well, here's the goal again, as the replay buffer is a little slow. Here we go. Yeah, it looked like a trip at midfield. Auburn now in control. They get it past half. I was about to say half court. I'm still in basketball mode. That was the last sports we got to do this year. The Red Rams using numbers to their advantage close to the net, but they are unable to chase down the ball in time. Or, I take it back, they actually got it right at the line. Out of play, a JD ball, so Lauren Parker will set up for the goalie kick. There we are. It is number 15, Jessica High, who goes on the attack. Perhaps too aggressively once again. Rolls out of play, and it'll be another goalie kick. There's been a lot of confusion in midfield so far in this half. Both teams have been pushing the Maroons a little more successfully. And now Brooke Reynolds will attempt to make something happen, but there's contact there. No whistle is blown, so it doesn't seem to be a big deal. As here is an opportunity for Brooke Holbert. Only one person there. And there's a grass mower, but does not have the speed to get past Bryn Whitman. Whitman, though, with an impressive kick. Gets all the way down the length of the field. Parker with a stop. Excellent save by Lauren Parker. Let's take another look at that, if we can. Here we come. Went off the knees of Lauren Parker, putting her body in harm's way. Very impressive. Substitution for Auburn. And now a goal kick from Parker. Ball intercepted by number 9, Caitlin Lowe. Auburn will retain possession. Grace Oliver trying to razzle and dazzle. Hard contact, but no whistle is blown. I'm sure Alice O'Connor is not happy with the call, or the lack thereof. That being said, the NFHS did offer some guidance on when contact is too much. They said in the soccer point of emphasis for the 2020-2021 season, soccer is a contact sport. When a player acts with disregard of the danger to or consequences for the opponent, he or she should be cautioned for reckless play. So as long as the contact is not in disregard to the health and safety of the opponent, it is permissible. As Hulbert now loses the ball for a brief moment, keeps it in bound, gets past her defender, Emma Hastings, off the toe and out of play. The Red Rams still favoring the wing throughout this game as Hulbert is going to get in a foot race. It's her and Elena Foose currently dueling in the corner, moving towards the goal now. Grace Oliver cannot get past number 13, Lindsay Hildreth. The rule is kept in bounds until now. 4:40 on the clock in the first half. The Red Rams sense the impending halftime, and they're getting a little more aggressive as we go on. Tough strike off the shin. Avery Young has to be feeling that. If she isn't feeling it now, she will in the morning. Poked away by Young now, and it will go Auburn's way. Rory Leach with the throw-in. And it goes immediately out of play. As we were attempting to discuss earlier, the class of 2019 provided 52% of the Red Rams' goals. Here's a chance for another. And Megan Baker does it again! The second goal of the night for Megan Baker ties it up at 2. Let's take another look at that. Megan Baker coming from the left wing. There was no chance for Bryn Whitman to get a hand on that one. And now it's 2-2, as I keep forgetting I can't use a number pad. That'll change it to the view of me. Baker had a hat trick on October 1st, 2019. It's been a little over a year since. And with 2 goals already in this game, she has a chance to do it again. 3 minutes remaining. Once again, no whistle from the referee, at least until now. Seems Sona's in a little bit of pain, but they're all right. Alice O'Connor will be the one to bring it in. And now it's Baker again, although she pokes it out. And now Hulbert in the corner, taken away by Auburn. Interdicted by number 10, Nina Dermody. Now the Red Rams have a chance. It's Baker. Can she get to it before the goalie? No. Bryn Whitman with a good stop. Or sorry, this is soccer. I'm supposed to say brilliant. The brilliant stop. Number 10, Grace Oliver, juked out of her shoes there. No whistle blown for the attempted poke. And now there's another scoring opportunity. No one's in the goal. It goes just left. That is about as close as you can get without success. Let's take one more look at that. Look at that opportunity. No one is in the goal. And suddenly soccer is a game of inches. Under 1 minute to play in the first half. And we'll have a goalie kick by Bryn Whitman. Sydney Marinelli hoping for one more opportunity to score before the end of the first half. 30 seconds remain. Parker comes far out of the goal. There's a trip up. Dangerous for a moment. Goes wide right. All right, wait for the replay buffer to come around again as we see the last opportunity. Here we go. You see Parker trip. She was able to get herself on her feet. Red Rams defense playing aggressively to make up for it. And that is the end of the first half. We are all tied up at 2. As we go into halftime, thank you so very much for joining us here as we've come to you live from the Jamesville-DeWitt Central High School in DeWitt, New York. Sam Gelfand here for JD Athletics. We'll be right back in about 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, Sam, we're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is also senior night. And we'd like to take this moment to honor our 5 Jamesville-DeWitt seniors and their parents. Our first senior is Kaylee McKenna. here with her parents, Sue and Patrick McKenna. And the wind won't let me read my script. Here we go. Kaylee is a 3-year letter winner and will be attending Elon University and studying business analytics and minoring in marketing. Kaylee will be playing lacrosse at Elon.
Let them know families can take their masks off for photos.
They probably should.
They can.
You want me to let them know?
No, you still do it naturally. All right, on to the next one.
Our second senior is Nora Perosa. Nora is accompanied by her parents Maggie and Chris Prosak. Nora is a 2-year letter winner and is undecided on where she will be attending college, but she will be pursuing a degree in chemical engineering. Our next senior is Emma Sutherland. Emma is accompanied by her parents Laura and Eric Sutherland. Emma will be studying business and is undecided as to where she will be attending. Emma is also a 2-year letter winner. People watching.
Yeah, let's go.
Our next senior is Avery Young. Avery is accompanied by her parents Jennifer and Jeffrey Young. Avery is a 2-year letter winner and is undecided as to where she will attend next year, but she plans to study nursing. And last but not least, our 5th senior is Amelia Zumpel. Amelia is accompanied by her parents Stephanie and Albert Zumpel. Amelia will be studying engineering, although as of right now, she is undecided on where. On behalf of the Jamesville-DeWitt Athletics Department, we would like to thank all 5 of our seniors for all of their time, dedication, and support. We would also like to take a moment to congratulate all of the seniors for the Auburn Maroons. Amelia Bartolotta, Shannon Casper, Elena Foos, Jessica High, Caitlin Lowe, Paige Maneri, Chloe Pisiano, and Brooke Reynolds. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jamesville-DeWitt Central High School here in DeWitt, New York, as we are ready to get underway for the second half. Sam Gelfand here for Jamesville-DeWitt Athletics, as the green screen is only barely holding up behind me. But we hope that as the world continues to, according to who you talk to, crumble around us, we at Jamesville-DeWitt Athletics will be consistent and always here for you. Anyway, it's time for the second half to get underway. I don't know where I was going with that. More ESPN, says the boss, John Goodson. John Goodson, also our cameraman today so far. Well, I thought it was worth mentioning. I thought it was worth mentioning why everything was looked like the back of one of those old notebooks that you'd have in elementary school with like the black and white pattern. Yeah, one of those. Anyway, game is back underway. Auburn Maroons and the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams tied up at 2 apiece, and that means I need to change that to the second half real quick. There we go. So, deuces wild here on the score bug here in Jamesville-DeWitt Central High School. The teams have switched goals. And Auburn off to a hot start right now, like they started off this game. It's Brooke Reynolds with control, trying to poke past the defense. And the whistle is understandably blown. One more time, once the instant replay buffer resets, here we are. That was a fairly blatant push on number 12, Avery Young, who seems to be okay. It is a physical sport. Now Balaton takes it down the sidelines. And the Maroons get it right back. This has been the story of the game so far, is these two teams, Jamesville-DeWitt keeps trying to push forward, but they have not been able to penetrate Auburn's defensive line. Chloe Pisiano has possession for the Maroons. Closely guarded by Brooke Holbert. It's a pass off to Foose, intercepted by Holbert. And Foose gets it right back. Rolls over the line. Over the line again. This seems to be as good of a time as any to talk a little bit about some of the safety procedures that we here at Jamesville-DeWitt are following, as are the rest of the league. Masks and social distancing mandated for all players, coaches, referees, and spectators. There are no celebrations allowed this year. No hugs, no high fives, no handshakes. The benches have been extended and the referees are meant to stay at least 10 feet away at all times, as here the corner kick goes off the crossbar. And that could have been a dangerous opportunity. Replay buffer reset. We're going to fix this by the time of the second game. Here we go. Corner kick went right off the top right intersection of the post. Among some of the other safety guidelines, attendance has been limited. All players get 2 passes for family and friends, and even then, it's limited to 50% capacity. High-risk sports have been moved to March. There will be no playoffs, so travel is minimized, and we play in a bubble of sorts. And yes, I am doing this with a mask on. Luckily, it acts as a nice pop filter. And Mr. Goodson shaking his head again. That means I'm doing something right. Not to him, but to me. Sydney Marinelli attempts to chart a course. Instead, it's uncharted territory, but not for Kaylee McKenna. Rolls right off, and it's a free throw. Throw in. Free throw? I'm still in basketball mode. It's an adjustment for me as it is for everyone else here on the pitch. We only had about 2 weeks to prepare for the season. Elena Foose with a pass to Bartolotta. Holbert gets a foot on it. Alice O'Connor now. And an effective clearance by the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams, regaining some of their defensive fundamentals. They came out of the gate a little rattled, but have become more and more composed as the game has gone on, especially thanks to 2 goals by Megan Baker. Nice kick, nice save by Bryn Whitman. I'd have to go through the record books, but I would have to posit that at this rate, Megan Baker may be on track to become Jamesville-DeWitt's leading scorer all time. Megan Baker, of course, only a sophomore right now. She's been playing on the team since 8th grade. So as a freshman, she was number 2 in New York Class A in goals. So she still has this season and then 2 after that. Nice stop by the goalie, Lauren Parker. Let's take one more look at that once the replay buffer resets. Don't know why it's doing that. Here we go. Take a look at this stop by Lauren Parker. Goes horizontal and traps it effectively.
Cones, though, if they wanted. I think we're done with.
As Auburn gets to kick it in, another stop by Parker, racking up saves. I'd venture to say at least 7 or 8 at this point. We'll have to talk to the scorekeeper later. It's Marinelli with a cross up and taken away by Lindsay Hildreth. But now it's Emma Hastings, who already has 1 goal to her name today. And the cavalry has been called in. O'Connor gets it out to Linder. Cross half court, Megan Baker has a chance, but she cannot get to it first. It is Caitlin Lowe who beats her to it. Into the corner and out of play. There was almost a fast break there. Well, I feel like that term could be used for soccer too. Breakaway, maybe, would you say? What would you say? I don't know. If you know what I should say, we're doing this on YouTube right now, and there is a comment section. Let me know. Is there anybody listening? Well, let's see. We have 47 people watching now. I'm sure that number's about to drop a couple. Another stop by Lauren Parker. Parker, although not the starting goalie in this game, has settled in comfortably as the game has progressed. Have to imagine that head coach Haley Nice, which someone told me before the game. Nice. Coach Haley Nice has to be watching Lauren Parker's performance so far today and has to be taking note. Coach Neese, by the way, a career .721 win percentage. And meanwhile, the Red Rams, although starting off the game at a 2-0 deficit, have fought back to 2-2. It has been a long time since they have lost more than 3 games in a season. In fact, the last time that happened was 2009. So they are not used to defeat, and they will not go gently into that good night. Avery Young and Maeve Murphy teaming up, as is Kaylee McKenna. That'll be a JD ball. McKenna has been responsible for most of the throw-ins today, as it's kicked out by Emma Hastings. Oh, that was hard contact. As we take one more look once the replay buffer resets. It's better to have it and have to wait a few seconds than it is to not have instant replay at all. That wasn't a sliding tackle, that was a football tackle by Caitlin Lowe. Cross attempted, and it's just over the crossbar. So we'll see half the last instant replay and the start of the next one. Here we go. With the kick, a cross attempted by the Red Rams. And although it was impressive that Megan Baker was able to get a foot on it, in her desperation to get a foot on it, wasn't really able to aim. There are 28.5 minutes remaining in the contest. As the ball crosses midfield. The Auburn Maroons have been playing physically tonight. As we'll take a look at that one too after the replay buffer. Here we go. Number 14, Sydney Balaton, sandwiched between 2 Auburn defenders. O'Connor with a kick. No one's going to get that. Whitman will let it roll out of play. It'll just be a goalie kick anyway. Yeah, we're down to 44 viewers. What did I just tell you? Megan Baker with an opportunity. Now it's number 11, Maeve Murphy, tracked to the corner, tries to keep it from going out, but try as hard as she does, unable to keep that ball in bounds. So Bryn Whitman will send it into play now. Twice last year, Whitman had 11 saves on the season. Or in the game, I should say. Also a 2019 New York Scholar athlete. Good defense by the Maroons. Maroons utilizing a very adept passing game, although McKenna intercepts that one. JD ball. Hastings won't be able to get to it, but now Hildreth does. Poked over to Lowe. Off the shin of Hildreth. A little bit of contact, but not too much. Baker right up against the net. And Whitman is able to track it down. It looked like there may have been something wrong with Megan Baker's cleat. I think she may have actually run out of her shoe. Next opportunity, we'll take a look at the instant replay and see for sure, as there's another stop by Whitman. Here, let's see if we got it. Yes. Look at Baker on the left side of your screen as she stumbles and plays with her shoe, her sock, something on one of those legs. So it's entirely possible she missed a goal due to a equipment malfunction. We have a player down right now. The trainer, Dave Schultz, is out to attend. We'll see if we can try to tell who that is. But it is an Auburn player. The trainer, Dave Schultz, is out to attend. We'll see if we can try to tell who that is. But it is an Auburn player. So as the trainer attends to the Auburn player, we'll try to see who it is. We have to ask ourselves, well, what does Auburn have to do to be successful in this game? And last year, head coach George Cosentino kind of clued into that after they tied Central Square 1-1 on October 16th, 2019. Head coach Cosentino said, when we attack and win balls at midfield, we can compete with anyone in our league. And that's exactly what Auburn has done throughout this game. They've been making sure that JD has really struggled to advance the ball past midfield, as it looks like players up and standing, able to walk off the field under her own power. That is number 11, Brooke Reynolds. That's a big loss for the Auburn Maroons. Reynolds was all-conference second team and 2019 Auburn Citizen All-Star. Listed as one of their top forwards in this game. And now the Maroons are going to have to chart a course without her for the time being. The good news is, though, she does appear to be okay, and that's what matters at the end of the day. Play has resumed now. 25 minutes on the clock. Auburn in possession, not for long. Kaylee McKenna intercepts. Now it's Hildreth. Passing out to 11 Murphy. And nothing doing, at least in that attempt. Incidental contact, and Avery Young has gotten beat up this game. Pass through the legs of McKenna, although Bartolotta can't track it down before Parker attempts a clearance. Hastings was right there. Shot on goal a little wide right, stays in bounds. Could have been dangerous. Parker wasn't near the net, but the shot was off the mark, and that's what matters. Ball finally goes out of bounds. We are still tied 2-2 as there's 24 minutes remaining in the second half, the first game of the Section 3 Class A girls soccer season. McKenna now continues to fight with a swarming Auburn defense. Hildreth. Murray cannot get past Elena Foose. Foose now to Oliver. Oliver cannot outrun Hildreth. But through the power of teamwork, they get it down to the 20-yard line. McKenna with a good stop. McKenna couldn't stop that pass, though, and it goes out of bounds. It's an Auburn ball. Ariana Bartolota will throw it in. You know, there are 3 sets of sisters on this Auburn Maroons team. Last year there were 4. As Elena Foose has it taken away by Hildreth, and Foose gets it right back. Once again, that aggressive defense, not giving Jamesville-DeWitt a moment to breathe. Ball's going to get to half court. I said it again. I said it again. You know, I spent 2 weeks prepping for soccer. For those at home, it's midfield. Midfield is what I should be saying, and look at that contact. Fans are not happy as we take one more look at it. It seems there was a push from behind by the Auburn defender. Red Ram ball. And it will continue to be as such.
Hey, see if one of the viewers is Chris Parker.
I can't tell who's viewing. It doesn't tell me on YouTube. Well, they'd have to comment or something. All right, well then, Chris Parker, comment. You're getting called out by Athletic Director John Goodson. And if he tells you to do something, you're going to do it. Don't take my example of not listening to him when he tells me to be less silly. And we hope that if you are out watching, well, hold on. Hold that thought. There's a Red Ram player down. As it seems they've decided to take the mask break now. She's up under her own power, so that's good news. May have been stretching. Hard to tell from this vantage point. Either way, mask break underway. And while we have this opportunity, let's take a quick look at some of the upcoming games we'll have for you here at JD Athletics. In the future, we will be broadcasting on the JD Athletics Twitch TV channel rather than YouTube. That will be twitch.tv/JD Athletics. We'll be back here on October 9th at 7 p.m. for boys soccer versus Baldwinsville. And then at noon on October 10th, girls will be back against Fayetteville Manlius.
Hey, we have one of our best female players on. Allie Balaton's out there.
Fantastic. It doesn't tell. It just says 46 watching. Okay, Mr. Goodson says hi. And anyway, you see the schedule. It's on your screen. Draw your own conclusions as we're having fun up here in the booth, and we hope you're having fun at home as well. Thank you so very much for joining us for this contest between the Auburn Maroons and the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams. Sam Gelfand here for JD Athletics, and the whistle's blown, so it looks like our mask break is over. This is somehow the game is less chaotic than the broadcast.
Black belt? Second degree. Yeah, Allie, she was all world when she was there.
It's a crazy world. We're just a reflection of the time, I suppose. As we are now back underway here in DeWitt, New York. Red Rams thought they might have had a quick opportunity to score. The Red Rams doing a lot of backwards passing so far in this game. And it's hard to blame them considering how airtight the Auburn defense has been. It's been 2 breakaways by Sydney Baker that have been the difference maker in this game. Did I say Sydney Baker? Megan Baker. Sydney Baker is her sister who graduated last year. There are so many sets of sisters between these two teams. As I just said, there are 3 sisters playing tonight for Auburn. 3 sets of sisters. 3 sisters would be triplets. And Bryn Whitman has far more than 3 saves.
Well, our girls are wearing the masks.
Very good point by A.D. John Goodson. Jamesville-DeWitt does seem to be doing a bit better of a job complying to the mask mandate. It is difficult to play with one on, but it is very necessary. But you also have to imagine that it lends itself to a certain degree to training, like those altitude masks that you can get for long-distance running. Or to take an example from baseball, because I always liked this. Carlos Beltran, back when he played before he was stealing signs, used to take batting practice with a pitching machine that was throwing at 115 miles an hour, so that when a major league fastball would come by him, it looked slow in comparison and he'd have more time to react. You would have to imagine that playing with masks on, it increases your stamina in that way, so that if you are able to play without a mask eventually. Ooh, it looks like someone may be cramping on JD around the 35-yard line. Hopefully it's just a momentary cramp as trainer Dave Schultz takes the field for the second time. That's Megan Baker, who runs off the field under her own power in a defiant display. Hopefully she'll be able to be subbed in sooner rather than later. Megan Baker is the key to this Red Rams attack. After Megan Baker, the second highest scoring Red Ram last year was Lindsay Hildreth with 6 goals and 1 assist. However, that is 1/4 of what Megan Baker scored. Not to say that 6 goals is not impressive, it certainly is, but 24 goals scored and 9 assists in 1 season is not something you see every decade, I would say, on any given athletic program. Of course, Jamesville-DeWitt, home not only to one of the best athletic programs around here, but according to the New York Sports Writers Association, the #2 girls sports program in New York State. There is a legacy of success here at JD, and speaking of success, no one knows it better than the JD girls soccer team. 11 straight Section 3 titles. They're gunning for number 12 this year. You're right. There are no. They will be gunning for number 12 next year. I would have to imagine there not being playoffs in 2020 means that the streak is technically still alive next year. Because if no one can be champion, then it's not right to say that their streak was snapped. But there is a young core at this. On this JD roster, 15 juniors, 5 seniors. 14 juniors, 5 seniors, 1 sophomore, 1 freshman. Which means there is plenty of time for this Jamesville-DeWitt roster to mature and gain experience, and you have to imagine that their team next year will be even better than the one they field this year. But you know that even if there's no playoffs, both of these teams are going to continue to play like they're on the line. A rough tackle by Hildreth, but Caitlin Lowe able to get up. Scramble at midfield. Now Auburn driving. It'll be Avery Young who cuts it off, though, and the ball rolls out. 15.5 minutes on the clock now. We are all tied up at 2. Would be a shame if the first game of the season ended in a tie, but kind of be on brand for 2020, wouldn't it? Okay, let's see if anyone checked it. I'm checking the comments section. The comment section is extremely active, and I just don't think I knew how to pull up the comment section on my phone. Cooper Purdy and Abigail Marinelli both calling out to me, it seems. One of them said, "Bro, look at the chat." Sam, you have to look at the chat. I get it now.
So there was a chat?
Yes. Yeah, there's been a whole chat. There's been a chat this whole time, although it seems to just mostly be these two people.
Who is it?
Cooper Purdy and Abigail Marinelli. We thank you for your dedication in watching this game. This is the first time we've attempted a stream of this nature. We did 2 of a lesser complicated extent for the basketball playoffs in February. But now new setup, new place, new sport, new technology, new equipment. And we hope to be bringing streams of, well, frankly, higher quality than this for the rest of the season. That quality's plenty fine. I'm just poking fun at myself. Friday night, we will be back on Twitch TV for the first time this season. Clearance by Whitman. But effectively a pass right back to JD, and just kind of playing whatever the soccer equivalent of catch is.
Friday night will be the boys against Baltonville.
Yeah. You know, we'll take a moment to flash the schedule again. October 9th at 7 p.m. We'll be back for boys versus Baldwinsville. Fayetteville Manlius, the girls' team, will be back on Saturday at noon. Opportunity denied by Bryn Whitman. Trying to break free of the defenders. It's Caitlin Lowe who was playing runaround, passes it out now to Hastings. Hastings double teamed. That is an effective clearance using your teammates. That's what teammates are for. Alice O'Connor with a pass now. And we'll have a couple of substitutions. Who is that? Who is throwing in? I was hoping it was Megan Baker back in this game, but I don't believe it is, no. Number 8, Lily Linder it is. As another goalie kick will be coming up. 11 minutes left in this game. Or this match, depending on which side of the pond you're from. Effective defense and no penalties are called. Let's take one more look at that. Much to the dismay of the fans. There was an opportunity for the Red Rams to score. And it looks like Chloe Pisciano and Sydney Balaton tripped over themselves. Hildreth with the pass, good defense by the Maroons. Maeve Murphy not able to get a shot off. Collision and a clearance by Parker. Once again, although some of the spectators here may not be happy with some of the calls, whether or not they're too physical, the NFHS guidance suggests that a caution should only come about if a player acts with reckless disregard for their opponent. And now the Red Rams on a breakaway. They're wide right of the net, and the ball will roll out of play. A good opportunity for Sydney Balaton. No, we don't have any post-game interviews lined up. No, I don't have a second mic. At least not with me. I can bring one. But the game hasn't ended yet. Especially if you're Bryn Whitman, attempting to ensure that there's plenty of time for the Maroons to get one more goal in as we take another look at that. Good shot from Rory Leach, but a better stop by Bryn Whitman. Just barely kept in by the Maroons. The Red Rams are in danger here. Shot taken, and a shot stopped. Grace Oliver. Has been very effective so far as we have 8 minutes left. Let's take another look at that save. Oliver using all of her reflexes. And we have another player down. It's another Red Ram. They're able to get up on their own power. Can't see who it is. Looks like there's a 1 as the first number. 13. That's Lindsay Hildreth. 2 big losses for the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams. First, Megan Baker, now Lindsay Hildreth. Their top 2 scorers have needed the attention of the trainers in this game. Hopefully both of them are okay, considering both of them were able to get up under their own power. Have to imagine that they'll be in fighting shape for the next game. But it may hurt their efforts to close this one out. More contact, possibly incidental, but the referee decides it was not. We'll take one more look at that. See how the judgment call is. Yeah, that looked like an honest mistake. That was a collision of 2 players both going for the same ball. Well, we don't have a don't have a video official, so I guess this is my position now.
You get to have multiple positions. Rules, that's what's great about being a one-man band.
Well, it's a blessing and a curse. I don't know if I would always say that's what's great about being a one-man band. I would say that I don't get as much sleep as I used to.
That's what's great about being a one-man band.
And I would also say I have no idea what to title myself on LinkedIn. For now, it just says Director of Broadcasting. Yeah, that sounds like it's probably good enough. Networking, kids, it's what gets you jobs. As there's a tussle in the corner. We'll see who they rule it for. Another good stop from Whitman. One more look at that. Replay buffer, buffering. There we go, more of a shot than a cross. So there's under 6 minutes left. I would have to imagine that we go to overtime if this stays tied. NFHS rules suggest that if the game is tied by the time this clock runs down and there's 5.5 minutes left, then there are 2 mandatory and fully played 10-minute overtimes. So essentially, you get 20 minutes of free soccer. And if no goals are scored in those 2 overtimes, or if the 2 goals are scored and it remains the same, then we go to a draw. Another whistle blown, as we'll take a look at that. Yeah, it looks like that was just a late reaction time from Sydney Marinelli, as Elena Foose will clear it past midfield. McKenna has been excellent on defense, or sorry, once again, this is soccer. Brilliant on defense. At least according to the World Cup games I watched in preparation for this. It's brilliant is the key. I'm not going to attempt a British accent. Elena Foose with defense, tossed around. Here's Rory Leach. That's Megan Baker. She is back in this game. Auburn throw-in, 4 minutes remain. If no goal is scored in 4 minutes, we go to 2 overtimes. Can't call it double overtime if double overtime is mandated. Another save by Lauren Parker. And Caitlin Lowe recognizing the opportunity, a foot sending it out of bounds, but that just gives Megan Baker more time to do what she does best. Same with Maeve Murphy, who has the ball now. No clear shot, though. Possible injury, Baker can't get the goal, and it's number 14, Sydney Balaton, who is on the ground. We'll see if the replay picked it up. Looked like Balaton may have cramped or attempted to kick the ball in some awkward way. No, replay didn't get it. Jamesville-DeWitt has been victim to several injuries in the second half of this game. Megan Baker, Lindsay Hildreth, and now it's Sydney Balaton. The Auburn Maroons, for better or worse, have been playing extremely physically today. They've been very aggressive on both offense and defense. And that kind of play comes with risks, not only with cautions, but with injuries as well to either squad. Balaton is able to get up, and she will walk off the field to polite applause. There is 2 minutes and 57 seconds on the clock once play will resume. Injuries are a part of the game, but you really hate to see it. But I'll tell you what I appreciate. Megan Baker and Grace Oliver having a little chat right there as they both assume their positions. It's great to see the camaraderie, even amongst two players on different teams. At the end of the day, it's for the love of the game. So Alice O'Connor now tries to present Baker with an opportunity. Able to stop it from going out of bounds, taken away by Emma Hastings. It's Lily Linder. JD's most improved player in 2019 as voted by her peers. And it's out of play once again. According to the comments section, and this is why the comments are great, apparently Oliver and Baker play travel together. I've got fact checkers. Because I sure don't have a producer. .145 on the clock. Clearance by Ariana Bartolotta. It almost feels as if these two teams want to go to overtime. Maybe a 5-minute break in between could do both of these teams some good. Get a little refreshed, top up the stamina bar. There's an opportunity for number 21, Carrie Dunn, although she is not able to convert on the opportunity. So we'll take a look. Carrie Dunn's shot on goal went wide right. Just on a personal note, isn't this instant replay just, it's great to have. It's really just fantastic. We did not have that for basketball season. Well, clearly, if you've heard me today, I seem to think they're both the same thing. I seem not to have got the memo. Of course, a lot has transpired in the last 7 or 8 months. I believe it's been 8 months since we've been on the air, so around Valentine's Day. And we have another player slow to get up. We have a player in the box slow to get up as time expires. Perhaps why the whistle was not blown. As we can see what happened here and who it was. let's take one more look at that. Oh, and now it's not refreshing the instant replay. Come on, play it again. Here we go. Looks like some sort of awkward trip. As there will be a 5-minute break between now and overtime. The Auburn Maroons and Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams tied up. We'll be right back here in about 5 minutes with the start of overtime. Thank you so much for joining us. The Auburn Maroons and Jamesville-DeWitt. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are about to start overtime in this inaugural contest between the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams and the Auburn Maroons. Sam Gelfand here for JD Athletics. The first game of the season is tied at 2-2. According to NFHS rules, we will have 2 10-minute overtimes. They are mandatory and must be fully played. So you're getting an extra 20 minutes of soccer here today. In a way, it's kind of great to have the extra 20 minutes because we haven't had anything for the past 7 months due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Players take the field, and our cameraman is coming back. We thank all of you for joining us here for this game, especially Cooper Purdy and Abigail Marinelli, who continue to light up the comment section. It's a wonderful sight, isn't it? Red Rams will get the ball to start overtime. And Auburn gets it right back. That's Brooke Reynolds. But her attack is cut short, and so's the response by Maeve Murphy. There's more contact. Let's take a look. Blatant shove by Grace Oliver. Got a little too physical. Nice job tracking the ball, Mr. Goodson. It's Megan Baker with an opportunity across the pitch. And a stop by Bryn Whitman. How many times have we said that today? Let's take another look at that. Baker with an excellent shot on goal from the corner. But Bryn Whitman tracked that down like a fly ball. That'll go out. It'll be an Auburn ball as the ball just keeps spinning. And now it's lined up to run the 400 meter. The comments are thanking you for your work, Mr. Goodson. Well, it's always great to appreciate everyone and everything that goes on behind the scenes on one of these productions. And trust me, you have no idea. The Red Rams have an idea of what they're doing, though. Effective passing. And there came Jessica High out of nowhere. Not happy that no push was called on Maeve Murphy. My understanding, at least my guesstimation from the way that today's game has transpired, is that referees are okay with a little bit of pushing as long as no one actually gets shoved out of their way. You know, rules are rules for a reason, but it's not necessarily a bad thing to be a little lenient with them. Especially when you just want to see someone score. You don't want to have the play stopped too often. That, of course, is a concern of the referees. And there's another injury. We have another Red Rams injury. Referees notice, and it looks like they're able to get up. But we'll take another look at what happened. That was a tackle on number 14, Sydney Balaton, it looked like. Again, we'll run the instant replay back. It's not wanting to replay. Here we go. No, that may not have been Balaton. It's hard to see.
It's like 18.
I think that's 18. That would be Rory Leach then. Rory Leach is walking off the field with under her own power. What is that, the 5th or 6th Red Ram injury we've had in this game? You know, there's something to be said about the short time that both teams had to warm up for this season as Baker gets tripped going out of bounds. The fact that 2 weeks may not be enough to get back into season shape. But even then, I think only one of these injuries was a cramp. The rest has been due to aggressive defense and occasionally aggressive offense. Jessica High competing, but it's Maeve Murphy with excellent defense. Elena Foose pokes it away, as does Bartolotta. Kaylee McKenna recovers. Both of these teams playing at the wings all game, but that just means that we're getting a lot of throw-ins. Oh, that was... Okay, that looked like a push to me, but the referee did not rule it as such. It's Sydney Marinelli who cannot convert. Clearance by the Red Rams. Bartolotta keeps it pushing forward. McKenna with a steal, now it's Marinelli. Emma Hastings attempts a pass to Grace Oliver, taken away by Hulbert. Now Elena Foose. Over to Grace Oliver. Hulbert gets it away again. Now the Red Rams have a chance if they can poke it away on defense here, but that's not going to happen. Another possible push from Bartolotta, but not strong enough to warrant a whistle. The Red Rams have been on defense for so much of this game. I would venture to say most of this game. After losing 2 All-State scorers, it's pretty much been up to Megan Baker to form offensive opportunities, and here she goes. She's going to pass it across the field, though. And Nora Prosak was not able to track it down, much to the dismay of the Red Ram faithful. There are 3 minutes remaining in the first overtime period. Remember, both overtime periods are mandatory. Even if one team takes a lead, it is not sudden death. Overtime is sudden death in the boys soccer contests, but not in girls soccer. So Kaylee McKenna will throw it in for the Red Rams. Header from Hastings sends it right back out. The wind has been blowing extremely strongly all night, though it doesn't seem to have affected too many passes or shots on goal, but there's a shot on goal. It's wide left. An opportunity for Auburn, as we'll see again in a moment on your screen. Number 14, Sydney Marinelli, had a shot on goal, but it was very wide left. Pass goes out of bounds. Prosak could not track it down. And it's a Red Ram ball. It'll be Maeve Murphy to throw it in. 1.5 minutes remaining in the first overtime period. There will be a 2-minute break between the first and second overtimes. Ball goes out of bounds off Nora Prosak. 1 minute remaining. Yet another tussle near the line. .40 seconds remain in the first overtime period. But we are very happy that you're joining us for both of them, at least we assume. Opportunity for Lily Linder, quickly swarmed 4 defenders. She didn't have a chance. However, Avery Young trying to track it down. There's 15 seconds left. 10 seconds. Quick throw in. 5 seconds left. Won't be able to get off an extra shot before the buzzer is blown. And there it is. We head to the second overtime period. Here in DeWitt, New York, Sam Gelfand here for JD Athletics. Thank you so very much for joining us. And you know, today is a big day, not only because it is the first game of the 2020 season, and it's just great that we're able to be back here bringing you live sports at the high school level too. But there's a few holidays today. It is October 6, 2020. Today is National Coaches Day. Of course, a great time to recognize the efforts of Haley Neese and George Cosentino, the head coaches for both teams, as well as Rebecca Peter, the assistant coach for Jamesville-DeWitt. Today is also National Noodle Day. If you had any plans to celebrate at home, it's a little late. I think any noodle places might be closed by now. But, you know, if you got some in your freezer, it's always a good time to take it out. Even if you had dinner, it's a good late-night snack.
I liked your first one, National Coaches Day.
Okay, well, how do you like
National Noodle Day? Come on.
well, how do you like number 3, National Transfer Money to Your Daughter Day?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a National Transfer Money. Well, it says here, Source National Today. It's a website dedicated. It's dedicated just to aggregating national holidays. Well, you know, it's
How much do I have to transfer to my daughter?
you know, it doesn't say. I think it's just if you do something, then it's celebrating the holiday.
Out there listening, they should reach out to
You know, that's a good point. If you
Is there anybody chatting about it out there?
Well, they're on
Oh,
National
there's a
Doodle
Noodle
Day right now. Noodle Day is popular, I told you. There's a reason I put it on. But I would have to assume if...
Guys are more interested in the noodles than they are the money.
Well, there's about a 1-minute delay on the broadcast right now, so they may not have heard it yet or been able to type out a comment. However, if you are a daughter and you do want money transferred to you, this is your time to shine.
It looks like there's a few dads out there in the stands.
There probably are. It doesn't say how much, though, so, you know, you could probably
Okay.
Venmo a cent or something, and, you know, it still counts.
It looks like there's a few dads out there in the stands.
But there's a lot going on today, clearly. And we're happy that you've decided to spend your evening with us. Oh, good point in the comments. It's also Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. There it is. That's
There we go. That's the other holiday we forgot to celebrate.
I do my tacos on Thursday.
You prefer Taco Thursdays. Any reason why?
Chipotle Thursday night. It is.
I don't really go to Chipotle for the tacos. I go for the bowls.
Bowls.
But we should probably stop because they aren't paying us.
Tacos.
Well, no, just stop talking about Chipotle.
Chipotle Thursday night.
Well, I'm saying if Chipotle wants to give us money, then I'd be happy to talk about Chipotle.
Or bowls.
Or bowls. If there's a bowl manufacturer out there, perhaps, you know, we're taking on all business inquiries. Hey, you know, that's the best part of this job. It's the free stuff.
All right, here we go.
And speaking of free stuff, we're getting free soccer here in DeWitt as the second overtime period will begin. So once these 10 minutes expire, either we have a clear winner or we have a tie. In other words, the only two possibilities that a game can end in. But at the end of these 10 minutes, that will be the definitive end of it. Bless you. So the teams have switched goals once again. And once again, Auburn playing extremely aggressive defense. They don't even bother keeping players back closer to the goal. Defenders are moved up to midfield.
Sam, does your rule over there talk about the next set of time?
Yes, the next set of time, it says if the two mandatory overtimes expire, then we go to a tie. That's postseason play. In regular season, if there's no definitive winner at the end of this period, then we have a tie. Hey, there's a third person in the comments section now, Kieran O'Connor.
Welcome.
Can only imagine how fatigued the players on the field are right now.
Yeah, this is quite the way to open up.
Luckily for the Red Rams, they don't play again until Friday. They have 3 days off.
Pretty good game though, Friday.
Oh, Friday's going to be a great game. We're going to bring the boys contest against Baldwinsville here.
And then the girls come right back again Saturday.
That's right, Fayetteville Manlius. Two of the biggest programs around here. It's going to be good soccer. Oh, there's Emily O'Connor in the comments now, too. Look at the entire O'Connor family has shown up to support, I have to assume, Alice O'Connor, number 15. Should we go back to the corner? And the bleachers are shaking. Someone figured out they can stomp their feet. It's a lively crowd considering we're at about 50% capacity. Which would also mean if anyone else tried to show up, well, first of all, they're a little late. But the Red Rams are not late to the scoring party. Megan Baker with a hat trick. The header makes it 3-2. Take another look at that on the cross. Megan Baker blows it wide open. It looks like sweet, sweet victory to the Red Rams. The game is not over yet. Overtime is mandatory. There's the goal again. Megan Baker.
Play it again, play it again.
A third time you want it.
Yeah.
Oh, let's watch it a third time. Look at the cross and the header by Baker. She is fulfilling her role of a superstar. A hat trick to start the season for Megan Baker. Tying her career high as well.
Header on the corner kick.
And Whitman will make the stop. There's 6 minutes left in the game. The Maroons are going to have to score if they want any chance of winning, just to tie it up. Baker hoping that she put the Maroons out of reach. And the energy is returned to DeWitt, New York, both in the crowd and on the field. Megan Baker with 3 extremely exciting goals. throughout this match.
I don't see us dropping. I think we're just going to go after here.
You know, my question is, obviously we don't know the stats from the other Section 3 games happening right now, but what are the chances that someone else has had a hat trick tonight? What are the chances Megan Baker's currently number 1 in Section 3 in goals? I think that's a likely possibility. Hey, guess who's in the comments? Sydney Baker.
Sid, all right. Tell Sid we said hello.
Hello to Sydney Baker, former JD All-State selection. It's her sister Megan who, well, frankly, has been on a rampage tonight. Pun absolutely intended. A pun we didn't even get. You know, like, I had this graphic here for the players on a rampage, the players to look forward to tonight. Didn't even get to use it in the first half because it was going so quickly. But here it is. I said Megan Baker is going to be the one to look out for. And not only was I proven correct, but Megan Baker has been something of a net Nostradamus throughout this game. If she predicts a goal, she's going to get one.
You got to get that highlight to CY News.
Well, the replay saved, luckily, as Bryn Whitman gets another save. So with the replays, it automatically saves them. So we got the 10-second clip, which is pretty nice.
CY News.
Three and a half minutes remaining. As we once again thank you so much for joining us for this contest. It's been a lot of fun, a bit chaotic. As the Auburn Maroons are just trying to stay alive at this point. 3 minutes remaining as the ball is out of bounds. Kelly McKenna fighting for it. 3 minutes remaining. It's unlikely you're going to get to score 2 goals. So at this point, they're fighting to tie, not to lose. However, Auburn is close to the JD net. And Brooke Hulbert sends it out of bounds, wasn't able to track it down. And there will be a substitution with 2.5 minutes left in the game. And Kieran O'Connor has showed up too. The entire O'Connor family is here. Very nice to see everybody. Very nice to see many of you joining us online instead of in person. Better for social distancing, better for ensuring that we will continue to have a season. It's kind of the elephant in the room. No one wants to talk about it. As there's a trip. But it's ruled a tackle, a legal one. 2 minutes remaining. Of course, the more of you watch online this season, the less chance there is of spreading COVID-19. And as soon as one of these players, if one of these players comes down with it, that may be it for the season. So we want to take as many steps as possible to ensure that everyone stays as safe as possible. Limited capacity, the passes, the social distancing. You and I, we're socially distanced right now in the broadcast booth.
With the masks on.
Masks on, as that will not be a 4-2 deficit. It's picked up by Whitman, who has to see the writing on the wall. There's 1 minute, 10 seconds left. Temperature checks before practice. Keeping a running log of everyone here in the stands who does show up for possible contact tracing. Oh, Emily O'Connor's here too, by the way, as there's 45 seconds left. Another trip on Sydney Balaton, who has taken a beating today. Possible last-minute opportunity. There's a shot, and it's wide left. A sigh of relief for Lauren Parker, and a sigh of frustration for the Auburn Maroons as there's 22 seconds left. No one's grabbing the ball at 10 seconds. Parker taking her time. 1 second, that's the game. The Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams defeat the Auburn Maroons 3-2 in overtime to open up the Section 3 Class A girls soccer season. A season that many of us never thought would happen has started with a bang. A hat trick by Megan Baker.
Another thing that we're not doing is we're not doing the sportsmanship handshake after the game.
That's true, no handshakes after the game, so you won't see that right now. But you will see the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams keep their heads high as they walk off the pitch. They have earned an incredible victory tonight over the Auburn Maroons. Thank you so very much for joining us for this contest here live on YouTube. Don't forget to join us at 7 p.m. on Friday for the boys game versus Baldwinsville. That's going to be a heck of a matchup. I'll be there for that too, and we certainly hope that you will be as well. So my name is Sam Gelfand. On behalf of everyone here at Jamesville-DeWitt Athletics, we would like to wish you a very good night, wherever you may be.